Hi everyone, it's Chris from Calla Lily Studio. Today I wanted to show you how I make the movements of the, I did my Cats Meow slide and glide card, and the cats in the back rotate. So I thought I would, or swing back and forth. I thought I would show you how I do that, make it as easy as I can. It's not really complicated, it's actually very easy. You're going to take a strip of paper, and I've got my little notes on here, 1 1/4 inch wide and 4 1/2 inches long. So if you cut that out, then you're going to score it at 1 1/2 inches. If you put it in your scoreboard, you'd score it at 1 1/2 inches, 2 5/8 inches, and 3 3/4 inches. So once you've done that, you can fold them and get your fold going. Then I take I use my Spellbinders die, and this one is, I think this one is just about it's not quite 1 1/4 inches wide. All you can use 1 1/4 because that's really up to you. But this one's just a little bit over, like 1 1/8. And you cut that out. And then I used like a 3/8 inch, can't talk, 3/8 inch punch, and cut out the center. Mark it with a pencil and try to slide it in and cut the center out. As you can see, I adhered, I kind of tapered the edges down here on this strip of paper, and then I glued the circle to it. And then I just took a square of paper, you can see that, and attached it. I glued it on as well. Now that could taper down depending on what you're going to want rotating back and forth. So for instance, for my cats, I made this a triangle just because I didn't want this to show, but this is just to give you an idea of what it will look like. So 1 1/4 inch wide, 4 1/2 inches long. You would score it at 1 1/2 inches, 2 5/8 inches, and 3 3/4 inches. And then go ahead and fold it up. The other thing I'm going to show you is, and I use this extra thick, I guess it's like a poster board that I get at Walmart for 97 cents. It's pretty sturdy. I like it because it gives it a little bit more stability. And I use my star punch and cut out one of the pieces of the star, so you got like a little tooth. And then I'm going to take that, you can see, and I'm going to glue it so that just the point is maybe a little bit more than half hanging over the cutout circle hole. I know it looks crazy, so maybe a little bit more than half. You just have to have enough room for paper to clear. Hold that down for a minute until the glue hits. I'm looking for my, there it is, just to press it down really good. And so while that's setting up, you can see, and I'll put this template on my blog, that I used the, let's see if I can remember this punch, I've forgotten now, word window, I think that's word window, to cut out 2 slots here. And then the other thing I used to set the cats in the front up is the slot punch. You just go in and make it as wide as you want. You might have to do it a couple times, but that's how I did this. And this actually works well. I wanted to show you, I think in my video that I posted in August, I usually use an X-Acto knife to cut this slot. And in this case, I've started using, because there's enough room, just going along with my slot punch, and it does a nice job. And my X-Acto knife isn't as sharp as it should be, so you could also use this to do it. Okay, so where am I here? Oh, I also went and did a piece of decorative paper because I thought, wow, I want this to look nice, and you can see from one of my pictures it can show. So what I like to do is put some glue on here and glue it down so that it might look just a little bit better, because it does sort of peek above the card. And you can do that or not, but I thought I'd show you how I did it. Then, while that's drying, what comes out when you punch these slots is this white piece. And I took it and I also covered that because you can see that somewhat. But I cut it down. I cut the ends off. And then I cut this down because you want it thin. You don't want it as thick. You want it to be able to go. See how it, can you see how it, this is actually the mechanism. It pivots on that piece of the star that we added. That's how it actually goes back and forth. Now, what I do to give it a little more pivoting power is I put a penny and I adhere it to the inside of this. I'll show you how it goes. You put a piece of glue here. I can get it, not a glue, but I'm using, well, I guess I could use glue, I think, but I think I use score tape. I think that might be easier. And you just adhere it. And then I put more score tape here. And I'll probably put some here. And then take it off and then just roll it up. See if I have enough tape on here. So you fold it over, up over, and then you fold it again. And then we want to fold it one more time. And fold it up. So this is what you would have. And you can see it adds a little bit of weight and makes your swinging mechanism a little bit better. Swings a little bit more, I think. That's how I do it. So the only other thing is how to adhere it to here. You're going to take, let's see if I can show you on camera here. You're going to take and glue one end of it down here, just one end, and you want to keep the other end not glued, so to keep it kind of the shorter side of it. In fact, you could shorten this up a little bit if you wanted to. And again, you can glue it or you can use score tape, whatever works, whatever's going to keep it there. So you're going to glue it there, give it a minute to dry, and burnish it a little. And again, you could, for my cats, I cut this down. I narrowed this down quite a bit because I didn't want it to show behind my cat, so you can always cut that down. But the way this would work is, now I do this once I put it in the card because it's easy, so you're going to want to practice. If you do it when it's outside of the card, you got to get it through that slot, and I find that more complicated. So you're going to slide your, see if I can show you, you're going to slide your top in. But you want, this is the underside, you want that to go into the hole. Now, at this point, you're all set. That's when I add whatever I want to go back and forth. I add it at the very end once I've set this. Now here, you can leave it open or you can glue it. I tend to glue mine because I'm afraid it'll come undone, but if you don't like that, that's fine. And here is your sliding mechanism. The big thing is to make sure, and I think my star point is a little off center, so you might want to just make sure when you put your star point in, it's in the center of that circle. Still works, but it's a little better when it's in the center, I think. And you will get movement. Once you have it on there, it actually does, it's pivoting on the point of the star. And you can see that there, and it works very well. So I think that is it. I did 2 of them. When I did the cat one. If you have any questions, let me know. If this isn't, it's not the easiest thing, but it's not as hard as it really looks. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Bye.